So productivity is a pretty hot topic at the moment because everyone wants to do more in less time. Like, what's bad about that? Get more done in less time. So I want to give you 3 of my favorite productivity methods so you can be like the rest of them and get more done. So number one's called the Ivy Lee method. So Ivy Lee was a dude about 100 years ago and is known as one of the best consultants on productivity of his generation. So there's a dude called Charles Schwab, and he had a massive business, and he wanted to get more profits, obviously, and get his executives to be more productive. So he hired Ivy Lee to come in and do some work. Ivy Lee walks in and goes, I just need 15 minutes with each of your executives, and that's all. And Charles is like, all right, how much is that going to cost me? And Ivy Lee's like, it's going to cost nothing. All I want you to do is to implement it, and then in 3 months' time, send me a check for how much you feel it was worth. So then Ivy Lee talks to these executives, or Charles Schwab's executives, and kind of gives them his method. And all he says is, the night before, you're going to list out your priorities for the next day, 1 to 6, no more than 6. And then rank them in order of importance. So you've got 6 very important things to do the next day, from 1 to 6. And when you get in there the next day, you start with number 1, and you do not move on to number 2 until number 1 is done. That was it. So you've got 6 priorities the night before, most important tasks, and you work through them 1 to 6. If you don't get done on, say, a few of them, you can move them on to the next day, and they become your main priorities for the next day. So a little chat like that with each of Schwab's executives, and Schwab sent Ivy Lee a check for $25,000 3 months later because he was making so much more money. And that was 100 years ago, so that's actually worth about $400,000 in today's money. That's how important that method is, or how valuable that method is. Simply, the night before, writing down some priorities and then working through them one by one, so not getting distracted. Big method there. So number 2 is called the Pomodoro technique. So that was invented by an Italian dude who named it after the Italian word for tomato. But Pomodoro is essentially working in 25-minute time blocks and then having a 5-minute rest period. So you set a timer for 25 minutes. It can be an old school timer or just a timer on your phone, and you work for those 25 minutes non-stop as hard as possible. So you have a focus, no distractions, you turn your phone off, you get everything out of the room, you work for 25 minutes, then have 5 minutes off. You do 3 or 4 of those, 25 on, 5 off, and then you have half an hour break. So what that does is it gives you focus, so undistracted work. Most of us can handle 25 minutes. This comes those like long stretches of work where you get really distracted. When you've got 25 minutes to do something, you're going to get it done. So it stops Parkinson's law as well. So work expands the time allotted to it. When you've only got 25 minutes to do something, you're going to work pretty hard, and any distraction is going to be like, nah, I got work to do. And it's a really good method for getting stuff done, because you can also note how many Pomodoros you get done each day to work out how productive you were that day. And you can kind of analyze where you need to get better and what you need to be doing. So you've got the Pomodoro technique and the Ivy Lee method. And the last one's a pretty simple one. It's called the 2-minute rule. So anything that can be done in 2 minutes or less gets done straight away. So that's like if you open an email, you can see, you read it, you can reply straight away, reply straight away. Don't leave it to later. Don't let the to-do list keep ever expanding, because it's always going to be on your mind for other times to do later in the day. If it's going to take less than 2 minutes, just do it. Get it done now rather than later. So 3 methods that I use personally, productivity wise, to get more done in less time. Use them. See ya.